how many businesses fail within, how many years, right? 10 years. And I don't know what the statistic is now, but it's so easy to start a business. It's just even easier to lose the business, right?
Right.
So, if you're an employee trying to, figure out if you fit, it really comes down to belief, do you believe this company enough in order to take that pay cut or be able to do more than is necessary or your pay grade, when it comes down to it.
Hey, welcome back, Ray.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey. So last episode, we talked about hiring versus contracting. Great topic, good feedback. Today, we're going to talk about compensation strategy for small teams. I like terminology, small teams, right? It's always interesting and strategic. In your purview, your expertise with working with a lot of global companies, global clients, how do you keep good people when you can't afford to pay market rate yet? That's always a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of small companies, startup companies specifically, it's always options, right? If you can't pay market value, you pay in options, and that could have, been vested for over 4 or 5 years, possible, stock bonuses at the end of the year based on performance. So it just depends on where the company is and how much equity they want to give away. Obviously, it's also, dependent upon the board, what they want to give out. So, yeah, I mean, if you can't fund it one way, you try to fund it the other way, right? Whether it be like benefits, having people like, having lunches and dinners every day. So all these little perks that we had, and it's very predominant in Silicon Valley, where, we have lots of incentives to do the work and then give out, other options and be able to, convey that to the employee and say, hey, I know we can't pay you market rate, but, if you believe the team, if you believe in the mission, the foundations of what we're building right now, you will profit immensely once, obviously, we have a certain buyout, we go to markets or what have you. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of millionaires made, especially by that little ploy to get people to work for a below market.
Hey, we're laughing at it, right? Because we
I
get
know,
it.
yeah. Because, at the end of the day, right? Like, how many businesses fail within, how many years, right? 10 years. And I don't know what the statistic is now, but it's so easy to start a business. It's just even easier to lose the business, right? So, if you're an employee trying to, figure out if you fit, it really comes down to belief, do you believe this company enough in order to take that pay cut or be able to do more than is necessary or your pay grade, when it comes down to it. So I've seen some great stories where, I was sitting at, like literally the kitchen table of this new startup, doing their books and everything. And we're talking about compensation, and it's like this guy that they're trying to hire was like already making like 400 grand a year.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we're going to try and offer him like 200 like, but we're going to give him like a ton of, stock options. And it's like, man, why would you risk 400 for, 200? But, he believed in the company enough, and, eventually became, C-level part of the company, and, the company did really well. So you never know, like, do they believe in the company enough? And was the company able to have the right management, the right direction, to go that way and, skyrocket up. So
Right.
that's always great, right? Like everyone loves those stories, but then there's also the other ones where they don't do so well and they fold so, but hey,
Yeah. And I think to your point, those success stories are far from, few anyway, right? They're rare.
Yeah, they're rare. Yeah, they're
But
rare.
but I always advocate to take the risk if you could afford it, meaning don't put
Yeah.
your family in danger, don't do anything, and be transparency. There's always a large upside with transparency with people. Like you said,
Mhm.
that example, if I'm making 400,000 plus a year without stock options and not included, it's going to be hard to walk away from that. But if I
Yeah.
believe in what the mission of the business is that's recruiting me or that I'm considering to join, and they're going to give me a good amount of equity, salary, and title if that matters to me, I'll go do it, right? But I'll jump in and take the risk, right? But that's
Right.
unique to every individual. And I think that's where people will accept the less cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that. And that's how really I've seen it, and you've seen it too, happen today. Just people say, okay, what am I getting out of return? Yeah, you could sell the culture thing is great. That to me is table stakes. It's there, right? But I do think more of, hey, what can I benefit as a business, as a person, and as a company on what I feel like I'm contributing? That's what it comes down to. And then, all the things come into play, right? Then the compensation will take care of it. So a company will do well if you do well and your
Yep.
teammates do well, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so great points, Ray. Yeah, and then again, this is a great conversation about compensation strategy for a small company. Again, folks, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow us, send us a direct message, go schedule some time with Ray and us, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you first and see how we can help you. Ray, thanks again for joining. I appreciate you and look forward to our next episode, the exit and its tax consequences under the partnership and team economics series. So thanks, Ray.